Passionate, driven, enthusiastic, euphoric. This is who we are as entrepreneurs. But how we leverage these incredible attributes to dream and build businesses that scale and grow is what this podcast is all about. Hello, I'm attorneypreneur Josh Brown, and welcome to Franchise Euphoria. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Euphoria. Yes, it is National Small Business Week, or so I've been told, and that gives reason to celebrate. And so this whole week, we are releasing one episode each and every day in honor of National Small Business Week. Hello, everyone. Josh Brown here. Thrilled to be back. And today, we're going to talk about accounting. Oh boy, accounting. Such a boring, depressing, oftentimes subject, especially when you factor in taxes, but oh so important for any kind of business, especially a franchise business. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is who should be doing your accounting and how you manage the accounting process for your franchise. Obviously, this varies depending on what type of business you have, whether it's a home-based business, brick and mortar business, retail business, service business. I mean, you can run through the entire gamut. Accounting is always going to be a part of that, but how you take care of that component certainly will vary. But let me just tell you sort of how I think about the process and why it is so important. If you're tuning in and you're just getting started in a franchise business, you've got lots of things on your mind. You're trying to worry about getting things set up. You're trying to learn about getting going with the business. There's a steep learning curve, oftentimes, to learn the processes and systems that the franchisor is utilizing. And you're just really trying to keep your head above water. So oftentimes the last thing you want to think about is your accounting and your bookkeeping. But let me just tell you, it is so important. I can remember when I first started my own law practice, and I was looking at different accounting and bookkeeping options, and I tried FreshBooks and I tried QuickBooks and I tried all sorts of other options and software. And I tried to all do it all myself and manage it all myself. And I remember that first year, it was an absolute nightmare when it came to tax season. It was incredibly frustrating. I had to go back and redo so many of the things that I had thought I had taken care of that I did not take care of. As an example, keeping track of receipts and how I was expensing things and all sorts of stuff that really, as you're busy doing and growing your business, unless you make a concerted effort and have an actual plan and a strategy that you're going to carry out, just really falls by the wayside. So what I did was, after that first year, I stumbled across a company called Kahuna Accounting, which I'm still with today. And they took that load off my shoulders. Now, let me just say this. They're not a sponsor of this podcast. I don't get paid anything for saying this. I'm just a user of their services and really enjoy their services. And I basically pay them a monthly fee, and I get a dedicated accountant who reconciles my books each and every month and make sure that I'm on target for where I want to go, make sure that my expenses are properly entered, make sure that my balance sheet is accurate, my statement of cash flows is accurate, my income statement, my expenses, all that sort of stuff. Really takes it off of my shoulder, and then at the end of the year, puts it together in one big package that I then go ahead and send on to my accountant, and my taxes are as easy as pie. Yes, it only took that one miserable experience for me to say to myself, never, ever again. So what I hope to convey through this episode is, don't put yourself through a miserable experience. Just know and learn from the others who have gone through it ahead of you, and don't make the same mistakes. So whether it's Kahuna Accounting, whether it's another accounting company, the point of this episode is that accounting is very, very important in a business. Numbers are important, and they can tell a story. And I think oftentimes people think about accounting as just plugging in numbers and that's it. But really good accounting and paying attention to numbers tells you the entire story of your business. So as you're getting up and going with your franchise, make sure that you're paying enough attention to the numbers, and make sure that you've got a system and a process in place so that you know at the end of each month that you are reconciling your numbers and doing it in a proper way. That way you can look back on the month prior and say, what did I do here? Where am I going towards? What have I done in the past? Where am I going to in the future? And you can have a nice measuring stick of the health of the business. Essentially, you can take a look on a month by month basis of how your business is doing, which is instrumentally important to you reaching your goals, to achieving the things that you want to achieve through your franchise. And perhaps most importantly, if you're getting off track a little bit, which all businesses do, it gives you an opportunity to catch it early enough to where it doesn't become a major problem. So in today's short episode, I just want to highlight the importance of good accounting and good bookkeeping. Like I said, I myself use Kahuna Accounting. If you want to check them out, go to kahunaaccounting.com. Like I said, I don't get paid for any of this. I just happen to really like them and have used them now for over 2 years, and they do a really nice job. But regardless of that, at least find somebody or some system that you're going to utilize on a regular basis to make sure that you don't have a situation where at the end of the year, you're running around in a very frantic way trying to make sense of all the things that you did not account for during the year. So hopefully this is helpful. Happy National Small Business Week to all of you out there. And if you haven't already, please head over to iTunes and leave me a rating and review if you so desire. And thank you for continuously tuning in and giving me reason to come on here each week and kind of share some things that I've learned over the years. So I really appreciate that, and look forward to another episode tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks. Hopefully this was helpful for you today. If you are in the market for a franchise, I would highly encourage you to check out my free ebook, which is What to Know Before You Buy a Franchise. You can head over to my website at that's INDY franchiselaw.com and download it there for free. And let me know what you think. If you're enjoying this podcast, if you're enjoying the value that you're getting from this podcast, I'd also invite you to go to iTunes and provide me with a rating and review. It always helps for visibility on the podcast. So thank you so much for your support, and hope this episode was helpful to you.
Thanks for being with us today on the Franchise Euphoria podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go to iTunes and provide a review. Also, please remember that although Josh Brown is a licensed and practicing attorney, nothing contained in this podcast should be construed as legal advice, because it is not. The information contained in this podcast is general and educational in nature, and none of it should be relied upon as legal advice. That being said, if you have questions for Josh and would like to contact him, please email him at josh@franchiseeuphoria.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you tune in to our next weekly episode.